With Anthem launch day coming closer and closer to release, I've been thinking, what kind of Javelin do I actually want to play? What is good, what suits my playstyle, and what might suit your playstyle? So in this video, we're going to be going through Javelins and what they do, how they're good, and what might fit in how you like to play the game. So let's get into it. So we're actually going to start with the Storm Javelin. This is the glass cannon of all the Javelins out there. It is probably the most weakest in armor, but it can dish out a hell load of damage. I find this one of the coolest ones out of all the Javelins we have been shown, because it's just awesome. It's got elements you can use, very graphically pleasing. I love the hover mechanic. As a Storm, you always want to be hovering about, because you need that overshield over you when you're playing it, and you really need that overshield. Also, the defense move of the Storm is awesome. You can blink and teleport out of the way. Of course, with all that power comes vulnerabilities, so you got to keep on your toes with this one and keep moving, otherwise you can get smashed real quickly. This Javelin actually depends on other Javelins taking the brunt of the force for them a lot of the time, and when the main game actually comes out, a few things are going to be changed about it to make it a little less OP. So with the Storm's blast seal, it's more like a bubble attack, like a radius. It's kind of really good for getting rid of groups. Not so great for big things like turrets and titans, but still satisfying all the same. If you want something a little bit more pinned on and powerful, then you can use your focus seal, which is pretty much very narrowed down as like a bullet, but it's not really a bullet of element in a way. So you can like zap your enemies with like a shock burst, or you can use a glacial spear. Ice element is absolutely up there at the moment, but hopefully with these storms they're going to be bringing in, that will help mix up the match with the elements. A nice thing about the Storm also is you can actually have walls to get like protection, so you can have a wind wall that will block the enemy's projectiles, but you can shoot through it still, which is really awesome. You can also have a quickening field that reduces cooldowns on other abilities for allies who enter the actual field, which I thought was really freaking awesome. So I love this. I love the Storm. He's awesome. To top it all off, his ultimate ability is, oh my god, it is so OP, and if you get like loads of kills, this thing recharges real fast. So this thing is called Elemental Storm. You pretty much just bash all three elements on your enemies, and it makes it way easier for other allies to hit combos on the targets, and it's just amazing. It's so satisfying to use, and yeah, Storm is absolutely wonderful. Moving on to the Ranger, the Jack of all trades Javelin. This thing can pretty much do everything else that every other Javelin can do. It has speed, rockets, whatever, name it, elemental stuff, it's got it all. It is pretty much what you'll start out with, and he's pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed my time playing with the Ranger because he's just so versatile. He can't really hover for much longer in the sky, which is a bit sad for me, but he's a soldier playstyle. On the ground, guns blazing, rockets, missiles. If you like that sort of thing, then he can do that. His defense move is dashing out the way, which is still cool. I love his jump because you can just bunny hop up things, and it's so fun. One thing that's also really awesome about the Ranger is he has a shock mace, so you can be like hovering up in the sky, and when your thing's about to run out and you need to cool down, you can come crashing down on your enemies' heads with a frickin' shock mace, which makes it so satisfying to use. To top that all off, he has lots of grenades you can use, which is really cool. Frag, Inferno, Frost, Seeker, awesome stuff. He also has an assault launcher, so you can beam and dart and blast at people with your more pinned on attack. The support is also really nice for new players, so you can have a little bubble that protects your people, and you can just stand in it and you'll be alright for quite a long time actually. or you can have one that just increases your weapon damage, which is really helpful, also making it the most ideal start of Javelin ever. Its ultimate ability is really satisfying as well. You fly up in the sky and you have a multiple target missile battery. So you unload all these missiles onto your enemies, lock onto them and just blast them to pieces, and it's awesome. The Ranger is very satisfying to use, and it's definitely the most ideal of everything pretty much. And I would say every squad needs one. Now we move on to the Interceptor Javelin, the speediest melee javelin is the best way I can describe it. It's like a ninja, it's freaking awesome. You can triple dash to get out of the way, you have a triple jump, you can move around really quickly, and it's just so awesome. You're fast, you're precise, and your abilities are all melee based, so just be careful of that. So if you like hacking and slashing things up close, you like close combat, then the Interceptor is definitely for you. It has a target beacon as a support system, so you can like mark your enemies, and then your friends can help you kill this enemy, and marking it will actually increase the damage your allies do to them. Your assault systems on this one are a mixture of glaives and mines and bombs. You can have homing glaives. Pretty much, it's pretty much a ninja, not gonna lie. You could dash forward and leave behind trails of electricity, which is freaking awesome. You just whip in and out of battle, do your damage, wait for your cooldown, and then go straight back in it. This is great for crowd control because you can just go in the middle of the battle and just smash everything, dodge all the bullets. You can even have venom spray that sprays out corrosive acid that damages all enemies it hits. A really nice thing about the Interceptor as well is that one of its support systems is a rally cry, and this actually clears harmful status effects from your entire team. I think this would be really good for the actual future storm events they have planned out. So an Interceptor would also be really nice as part of the team. I find there's not always a lot to say about this Javelin, it pretty much explains itself. Nimble, fast, melee is awesome. The only place you really have to be careful about when using this Javelin, it might be worth just staying back with a bit of gunfire, is things like the spider stronghold. I found that a lot of Javelins using the Interceptor actually kind of just died there under the spider. You have to be really quick in and out, and sometimes she can catch you out and stuff like that. Sometimes it's best for them just to stay back and kill all the little extra spider babies there. But I think if they're clever enough about it, then you can get the job done pretty easily. Moving on to the Colossus, potentially the most armoured out of all of the Javelins. Although you have to be careful with this guy because he moves slow, he's very very slow. You're going to need to use that shield. You're pretty much going to be tanking most of the damage when using this guy if you use him properly. He's supposed to be quite resilient, and from what I've heard they're going to fix him up a bit because in the demo he was pretty weak. That shield's going to be really important. But he's heavy hitting, he hits with a pack of a punch. This is the only Javelin that can use heavy weapons also, so that has a unique feature with this guy. Hovering is not going to be your friend, you're mostly going to be grounded as this Javelin, so just be careful with that. You won't be able to move that far as other Javelins and that fast, but you can make your way through the map quite easily because you can take a lot of damage. Its assault gear is based on mortars, so this is things like firewalls. You can shoot volleys at people, and you could do a lot of exploding. Everything explodes. So these are big meaty attacks that hit based areas around, and you can kill quite a few enemies with this. The guy has a lot of features and a lot of attacks you can put on, which is really cool. One of the things I also like about this, if you equip your shield and you do a battle cry, it basically makes all the enemies around you attack the actual Colossus. So the rest of your team can get their job done. You can shield off the damage with your shield, and you won't take a spit of health. And also, once you're done doing that, you can unleash a really powerful main attack. Basically, this is a giant missile on your back that you just explode out at enemies to blow, and it can take out those miniguns that shoot at you and they're absolute pain in the ass to get rid of for weaker players. You can also give a pulse out to give your friends a damage resistance buff, which is also really helpful for the other javelins that don't have so much strength on them. Overall, this is a really cool javelin as well. It fits the quota, it definitely is a tank. Make sure you use your shield with this one, because that is a very important feature with the Colossus. He's just a sturdy guy. So out of all 4 of the javelins, I think I'm definitely going to pick the Storm Javelin, because he just fits my playstyle so well. I love elemental stuff, and he's definitely very satisfying to play with when you use him. You can use a lot of elemental powers. Yes, you can get hit really easily, but if you work with your team very well, then this makes this guy just absolutely amazing. The hovering is very satisfying. When I played him, I definitely knew this one was the one for me, and you get a freaking cape on him. It's so awesome. As a secondary pick, I would probably go for the Ranger just because he can just do anything. And then it would probably be Interceptor, then Colossus. Although, of course, these are going to change depending on your playstyle, how you like to play. The magic is great fun. Minimal armor, it's alright. As long as you're clever about it and you work with your team, you'll be absolutely fine. As a Storm, that glass cannon won't be a problem. But yeah, Storm is for me. If you're going to play Anthem, let me know which actual Javelin you're going to pick and why. I'd be interested to know why you guys are playing the other ones and why it suits you and stuff like that. I always like to see what my community's up to and what they enjoy. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!